Our last method is the specific identification method. In this method, you have to specifically identify, be exact on which items were sold and when. In this instance, this method is normally only used for when we perhaps don't have a lot of items and they're normally really expensive. So these are items like jewelry and obviously cars where you're tracking them. And so what we do is that when you have a sale, you have to specifically identify the units that were sold. So looking at our example that we've been using, our beginning inventory consisted of 10 units at 91, and then on August 3rd we purchased 15 units at 106, and so on the 14th we sold 20 units. So I have to specifically identify the units that I sold. So let's say that out of the 27 were from that beginning inventory that cost us $91, and that leaves us 3 in that inventory, and that the remaining 13 came from the August the 3rd purchase that cost us $106. And so my total cost of goods sold for that sale is $2,015. And that leaves me 2 units left in ending inventory from that August the 3rd purchase. Okay, and then on August, our next purchase, August the 28th, I think that date's off, but we purchased 20 units at 115, and then on August the 28th we purchased 10 units for 119th, and then on the 31st I have a sale of 31 units. So I have to identify what I sold. So let's say 10 of the units came from the units that cost us $115, and that 10 of the units, so that leaves me 10 there, 10 of the units came from this last purchase of $119, so that takes care of all those. And then finally the other 3 came from the beginning inventory that cost us $91, and then I believe that marks out all that, takes care, we have no more left in beginning inventory. That takes care of all those left in beginning inventory. And so my total cost of goods sold for that sale is $2,613. So when I add up these two cost of goods sold, my total cost of goods sold for the month of August is $4,628. Well, this pen is going in and out on me. And so we want to look at what's left in an inventory. I have the 2 from the August the 3rd purchase, and they cost $106. And I have the 10 from that August the 20th purchase, August 28th purchase that cost $115. So my ending inventory is 1,362. Those 12 units that's left in an inventory. And so there's a couple ways when you get ready to do the problems in the book. They're going to always give you beginning inventory and then your purchases. And then they'll say, okay, using the specific identification method, we had left in an inventory 2 units from the August the 3rd purchase that cost us $106, and then 10 units from that August the 28th purchase that cost us $115. And so that's my ending inventory. So if that was left in an inventory, then we're going to assume that we sold everything else. So you can just go back and say, okay, that means I sold everything from beginning inventory. Equals to 910, sorry about that. And then that means I sold 13, because remember 2 of these were left in an inventory from the August the 3rd purchase. And then I sold 10 from this purchase that cost me $115, because I had 10 left in an inventory, so that means I sold 10. And then I sold 10 from that last purchase of $119. And so if I add up these 4 numbers, I will get the same 4,628 for cost of goods sold. So on those problems, they're going to either tell you what units were sold or what units were left in an inventory, and then therefore you can figure out either or. That's it.